I have completed the configuration for the electronic bank statement, and here we have the OT52. So that is the transaction code we can find out for the manual bank statement. We have with us two posting rules. First is 115 for the incoming payment, then we have 475 for the outgoing payment. And it is saying that here with these are the standard transaction keys we have, and we can see presently these keys are assigned to the posting rule. It is 83IN and 83OU. So here if I want to add the same transaction key for my posting rule, so I will not be able to add because at one time we can assign these transaction keys with one posting rule only. So for this reason what I will be doing, I'll be assigning here the posting rule. It is 86IN and 86OU, and then we'll just press enter button and save it. Click on the save option. Now in the system, we need to create the posting so that we'll be able to perform this incoming and outgoing clearing account, and we'll be able to see its impact. So for this, it is saying that here we have, I think, created the incoming and outgoing clearing account also yesterday. So here if I just go to that account number 102, that is my incoming clearing account, then we have 103, that is the outgoing clearing account. And here what we will be doing, we'll have one purchase sale scenario. So here we can enter that purchase sale scenario, and for this let's create a sales posting. And for the sales posting we can go to the transaction code FBL5N, and we can check if any posting we have already done for our customer. So we can have here the customer number one to all. Click on the execute button for all our open item. So company code is going to be 2186, and once again we can make it the range as 1 to all. Execute. Click on the execute button. You can see we have already invoice of 24,000, and then the same thing we can find out for the vendor. And to check the line item for the vendor open item, we have the transaction code FPL1N. Once again for the all vendor for the company code 2186, I want to see the line item. So we don't have any purchase invoice, so I'm going to enter a purchase invoice for the 2186 company code, and the date is 1st of July 2020. And then we can have the company code currency. We need to have here the vendor. Press F4 key to select the vendor. For the company code 2186, we can press enter button. Vendor is 800, it is 100 811. We can press enter button. So here we have a invoice of 15,000, and we can give here the blank terms of payment. We have here the purchase invoice. We have here the posting key 40 for the raw material consumption account, and text is plus, amount is asterisk, and here we have the purchase invoice, and I'm going to save it. Now we need to do the payment. So we have one line item for the vendor, one we have for the customer. If we check the line item for the vendor, you can just see it is showing you a open item of how much amount of 15,000. For the customer we have seen a open item of 24,000. Now if you want to go for the payment, so we'll use the transaction code F-50. We'll first use the transaction code F-28 for the incoming payment. For the incoming payment, so we'll have here the transaction code F-28, and here we have the customer information we can enter. First in the header, we need to give the documented posting date. Document type is DZ, and then we need to give here the bank data. In the bank data, earlier we used to enter 101, but now since we are using the EBS, we also want to get the reconciliation done. So for this reason, all my incoming payment will get routed through the 102 account. All my incoming payments will get routed through the 102 account. What does it mean? It means that when you are going to debit the customer, you will be creating, sorry, when you are going to credit the customer, you will be debiting the incoming clearing account. And when we will be taking the confirmation from the bank that payment has been or the check has been cleared, at that point of time, we are going to debit the main bank account and credit the incoming clearing account. So that is the entry we want to have. So let's have here the incoming clearing account, and then we have the amount for the customer. It is 24,000, and here we have the text as payment from the customer. Customer number we can mention here. For the 2186, we have the customer, it is 28401. Enter, and we can save. Likewise, we will have a posting for the customer, for the vendor, and the transaction code is F-53. We have the date as today's date. We need to now enter the outgoing payment. So for this reason, I will be using the outgoing payment clearing account. And the amount is how much? Let it be the amount we have entered, I think 12,000. Let's cross check it. We can go to the FBL one. For the vendor, we can check the open item amount 15,000. So let's have the amount of 15,000. This is the payment received from the customer, and sorry, payment given to the vendor. And which vendor it is? It is 811 vendor. Enter, and we can say we have now made the use of the incoming and outgoing clearing account. What do you do now? You go to the FBL, you use transaction code FBL3N. FBL3N transaction code we use to see the GL open item. To see the GL open item. So with us, we have two clearing accounts. One is the incoming and second is the outgoing clearing. So both for both of these two accounts, I want to find out the open item. So here we can execute the, we can click on the execute button. We can see here we have two line item with the open status, and we have first line item with amount 24,000. Second we have with amount 15,000. So this is the payment we have received from the customer. This is the, actually I have made it here a wrong text. It is the payment from the vendor. Okay. So this is the document type DZ, that is the customer incoming payment. This is the KZ, that is the vendor outgoing payment. So here it is saying that if we'll have that manual bank statement, so after that, what is the system going to impact on these line item? So the impact on these line item is going to be, these line item will be cleared off, and the net entry. The net entry is going to be like these two line items are going to be part of your main bank account. If you just see, as of now, these are not being counted or considered in your main bank account. So both of these two entry you will not be able to see. So we'll not be able to see here 24,000 and 15,000. When those two entry will come into the picture in this main bank account, when you will be doing the reconciliation. And for the reconciliation, we have with us transaction code double F67. Transaction code is double F67. This is for the manual bank statement. So here we need to give the bank key. So in our case, the bank key is, it is 2186 4 times 4 times 01, and the bank account number we can take it as 2186 4 times 10. Then you can give your statement number. So the statement number would be unique, would be given by the bank only. So let's have the statement ID we are making here. We have the statement number we are entering as, it is 2186 only, and let's say 21861. Then we have the statement date as 1st of July. As on 1st of July, we have received the statement. Then you can see here the balance we have, it is 15, and we have 24. Okay. So 15 and 24. So it is going to be 9,000, which is with the closing balance. Okay. Because out of 24, we have already paid 15,000. Now the closing balance is going to be 9,000. My opening balance, I'm assuming that these are the only two transactions we have in the bank statement. So my opening balance is going to be 0, and my closing balance is going to be 9,000. 9,000, and after that, we can just press enter button, enter once again, and then you will have this window. On this window, we need to manually punch that physical statement we have received from the bank. So here we can make the entries. So for example, in the statement, it would have been given that, okay, we have the transaction key 115, value date is 1st of July 2020. So how much payment we have received? We have received from the customer 24,000. Then we have the vendor payment. So here it would have been mentioned with the external transaction key or the BTC code 475. And after that, here we can go to the OT83. That is the configuration we have for the EBS. So here, yesterday we have done the configuration. Okay, so yes. Now We can give the date as 1st of July once again, and we can have here the outgoing payment as 15,000. So with this, if you just press enter button, always remember whenever there would be an outgoing payment, there would be any outgoing payment. So for this, for that outgoing payment, whether it is the bank charges or the payment to the vendor, what you will be doing, will be using the minus sign. And if any payment you have received from the customer, any income you have received, in that case, no minus sign is required or plus sign is required. Only the normal amount you need to give. But for the payment and for the expenses, you need to enter here minus sign. Press enter button. Now you can just see both the amounts are getting tallied. So we have the 9,000 on the left side and we have the 9,000 we have manually entered. Now after that, what you need to do, you need to save this information. So if you want to give the reference of your document, you can mention here the reference for your document. So this is what I'll do. I'll display here the line item for the clearing account, which will have the reference of both the document. So let's display the open item. So we have for the 24,000 reference of this is the document number. We can take the reference of this document. That is 39006, and this you can put it on this document number. And same thing you can do it for 15,000. You can take the reference of 34 all 015. And now we can save it two times to save it. And after that, what do you do? So system would have created a batch job, or system would have created a session. You need to execute that session, and for the execution of that session, you need to go to the menu, system, services, and then you need to go to the batch input. In the batch input, you will find the session. And here you can just see system has created a session with the ID. It is your combination of your house bank and account ID. So you can select this session and then click on the process button. And here we can select the option as a display error. If any error is there, system will populate that error and we can fix it. Now this time the batch got completed and we can exit the batch. So what is the outcome we can find out? The outcome is going to be the clearing of your open item. So these are the two open items which system is going to clear. So after this refresh, what we will find out? We find out that these two open items would have been cleared off by the system, and the net entry will get posted into the main bank account. So here I'm going to refresh I'm going to refresh this screen. Go to the menu list and then click on the refresh button. You can just see both of those two line items system has cleared off, and we'll be able to find out. Now we don't have any open item, so where we can find those line items, we can find them under the cleared item, because both of them got cleared by system with their corresponding clearing document number. We can see here it is 1 all 013 and 1 all 014. 1 all 013 has cleared your incoming payment, whereas 1 all 014 has cleared your outgoing payment. And if you see the net effect of this 9,000, so for that you need to go to the main bank account, that is 200,101, where you will be able to find out that net effect of 9,000. Although we have both of these two amounts, 24,000 incoming and outgoing, and the net effect you will have here with the amount 9,000. So this entry will come here once you will be doing the clearing. Okay, if you want to see that entry, so I'll just show you first the first entry, that is the incoming payment. So what is the accounting entry system has generated? So let's observe this entry. You can see here it is saying that your in the case of the incoming payment, so system has debited the main bank account and credited the incoming clearing account. The same thing we can find out for the outgoing payment. So from the outgoing payment standpoint, it is saying that your main bank account will be credited and the outgoing payment account that will be debited. So these are the counting entry which system is going to post into which system is going to post it, and we can find out. So this is the manual statement we have entered.